Hey everybody, welcome back for another edition of the Club Cool podcast. I am your host, Barrett Dudley, and I am here in the Wash Media Studios, joined by Phil Battaglia. Phil, what's going on?
Hey, man.
You doing all right over there? Yeah? You recovered from the weekend?
Yeah, the allergies didn't really kick in as I thought they were.
No.
Saturday, I was really nervous.
Okay, all right. Well, we're here at the, at the intersection of style and pop culture, and you know what we have not asked for in a long time? 5-star reviews.
Right.
We should just make sure that you're subscribed if you're listening. And if you've never written us a review, or even if you have, I think they let you do it more than once, pop in there.
Yeah.
Throw us 5 stars. I would love a 5-star review. But even if you think it's like 4 stars, I'm still curious to see, what you would write in there. Like what
No.
Only 5? Only 5 stars?
We don't want to hear it. If it's bad, we don't want to hear it.
Okay.
There can't be a negative.
That's fair. That's fair. We had a guy come to the house, and he was a window salesman. I'll put him on blast. Renewal by Anderson.
Door to door.
You ever heard of these guys?
Yeah.
No, we scheduled it.
Okay.
They send the flyers and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's kind of a high pressure,
Today you need to
sales
buy these.
meeting. Yeah, you need these windows. Yeah,
Yes.
and I'm not really, for some reason, the window game in particular is an absolute mess out there. Like most of the companies, you basically have like the Home Depot option, which is, lower end, not really sure about the quality, like who knows what you're going to get installation wise, quality of the window wise. And then a bunch of other people that are like, I'm going to need to come into your house, sit down with my binder and my iPad and run you through a 2-hour spiel about why our windows are the best and all other windows suck ass.
Wow.
It's really, it's bad out there. Anyway, at the end of this whole thing, we did not accept the,
I bet he didn't like that.
today, he did, he was not a fan. But he closed this thing off with, okay, all right, well, after this, you're going to get an email asking nothing about the windows, nothing about the product, but only about me. And you'll be asked to rate me. So, if you could please give me a 10, I would really appreciate that, because it basically for them, anything under a 10 is a 0.
Wow.
And that's, it's kind of like the Uber thing, right?
Yeah.
Like when I have a bad Uber,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give them 4 stars. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give them 4 stars, and you feel guilty about giving them 80% out of 100.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't like that. I don't like that. You should be able to honestly rate your drivers and your window salespeople based on how you felt about them. And a 7 is okay, maybe needs improvement. An 8 is just fine. You just weren't mind-blowingly excellent. And then I'll give you the 1 or the 2 if you really, really need work, or I don't think that you're in the right line of work. But I didn't like that either. You got to give me a 10. Everything else is just diddly squat.
Well, first of all, they should be getting points deducted for running you through such a long spiel.
I know.
Which is not his choice. I'm sure that's
no, of course that is. Yeah, he is going by the book.
Yeah. That's unnecessary.
So, yeah, it is what it is. Man, yeah. Anyways, so I'm not gonna say that. 5 stars, much appreciated. And I just don't know if you have a bad thing to say. You can just send me a message directly. You can just send me send a bag of gorilla poop straight to my doorstep.
That's one of the greatest websites.
But no, seriously, leave us a review. Make sure you're subscribed. Why not?
Why the hell not?
Yeah. We did ACL this weekend, Phil.
Well, hold on. What are y'all doing with the windows? You doing a full window job all the way across?
Oh, you bet your ass we are.
Windows aren't cheap.
They're not. No.
Okay. Anyway,
nothing's cheap. Nothing is cheap.
All right.
The good windows seem to be predominantly made in the U.S. And I guess most of the raw material is over here as well, because the lead times don't seem to be out of whack like they are for literally everything else. So, anyway, we've got some stuff to talk about today, don't we? But I wanted to mention ACL. Also, I should give a shout to producer Randy, who is, I feel like, generously producing our podcast today, even after my Astros had to send his White Sox packing in just embarrassing fashion yesterday.
That's
Yeah.
uncalled for.
10-1. 10-1. It was what the score was, just in case you weren't.
Wow. If you would like
case
to
you didn't
turn
see that.
his camera off and just do double camera on me, thanks, man.
Last week we talked a little about ACL. We talked a little bit about some festival style and some bands, none of which you knew. Did you learn anything? Did you learn anything out there this week? Did you discover any artists that you weren't previously familiar with?
I thought, well, I didn't. This is not a surprise, but Megan Thee Stallion was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
That was awesome. What a great show.
She has got. Look, there's this lineage, right? And it dates further back than I can even really say. But like when I was younger, it was like Foxy Brown, Lil' Kim, and then came Cardi B, and Nicki Minaj, and then Cardi B, and then now like Megan Thee Stallion is like kind of next in line for that throne, I would say. But I feel like I think she has the most charisma and the most stage presence, and is the best like performer, like vocally, out of any of the recent ones.
Yeah, totally agree.
When she is up there, I'm almost getting like Beyonce vibes. Should be no surprise that they both come from Houston. We just roll like that. And like the crowd was huge, super into it. Daytime show, and she has like certified, bona fide, legitimate hits. She has 1, 2. It's like WAP, Hot Girl Summer, and Thought Shit.
Yada yada yada.
Body yada yada. But like, and those were big, like almost like if you're a Megan Thee Stallion fan or if you're a big hip hop fan.
Yeah.
Like I don't think they chart. I don't know how high those charted on like a Billboard 200. My point is, once she has a number of hits that like Nicki has, I think that she will have surpassed all of them, just because of her presence and her performing ability.
You feel like she's got a longer runway.
I feel like she's got a longer runway, a higher ceiling.
Yeah.
I feel like she's got a very high ceiling.
Nicki kind of fucked herself with the whole fake news vaccine.
Yeah, well, I mean, and just a long list of things, like aligning herself with Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Did she really?
And then, oh yeah.
What's he doing?
Bringing him on her tour and doing like a bunch of tracks with him.
Randy, what's
and then,
he doing?
And
You're
then
a
like
big fan. Yeah, you are.
And then like Randy's going as Tekashi 6ix9ine for Halloween. That's how big of a fan he is. That you should get one of the CB guys to. That's a good costume for spooky season. Very, very spooky. And then like she's like I think her husband is like an accused rapist or pedophile or something like that. There's a bunch of stuff. Yeah. She's got a lot of, I don't want to, not issues, but she has kind of put her foot in her mouth on numerous occasions, I would say.
Yeah.
That like takes her to a lesser level of admiration, I guess. Fandom. Yeah, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, Meg Thee Stallion was great. Very good show. A lot of fun. How about Greta Van Fleet? Did you like that one?
Man, that was awesome. That's a rock show.
That it is.
How about those outfits?
The outfits are great. The lead singer,
yeah,
he's just goes full Hobbit with it. He goes full Hobbit. His hair, his little wispy mustache, his no shoes, But
the outfit was very like old school rock.
Yes.
They all had rhinestones,
velvet, bright velvet, shiny
awesome.
rhinestones. Yeah,
that was great.
Very very good show. You think that guy? I think we might be taller than that guy.
Yeah, I think we are. So we got that going for us.
But it almost like adds to the performance of it all.
Well, especially since he's got that voice. I mean,
that's
Jesus
right.
Christ.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. This is approximate. They're saying online that this guy's 5'9". I'm not buying it for a second.
Not even close.
I am not buying it for a second. And Josh, his name's Josh Kiska. Shouts to I mean, we stand a short king on this podcast. So I'm not taking anything away from you. Now but there's no way he's 5'9".
No.
Absolutely not. Doja Cat looked bigger than him up there. Yeah. And she's tiny woman. You know what I mean? Did you see Doja Cat?
No.
Too
many people over there.
Yeah. How was your guy Charlie Crockett?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now that's a show.
He's
country show,
he's
but it's still a show.
he's pretty old school country.
Yeah,
Classic stuff.
It's a classic sound, but he puts his own spin on it. I can't say enough about him. I think he's great, and he's only getting started.
There's a little docuseries on Netflix called Explained. You ever watch these?
No.
They're like 20 to 25 minutes long, very short, very digestible, extremely well done. Each of them tackles a single subject.
Yeah.
And so they're not like super deep or anything, but they're all very, informative and you learn something. It's like a quick little history lesson. The most recent one that just came out is on country music. And there are a lot of things that I did not know about the origins of country music, and they dive deep into like how country music specifically has always kind of like gatekept itself very, way more than other genres. They only like certain things. There's like a race element to it. There's a misogyny element to it, where like women are like way less likely to get any radio time, which in country music is still like the thing that matters, is like getting on country radio if you want to be a star. Anyway, a bunch of cool stuff. But I think the most interesting thing was that originally, you know what the genre was called? There were two genres when like popular music took off in the 1920s. There were race records. That was what the genre was called, which was anything race records, which was anything done by a black person. And then there was hillbilly, which was everything, which was all the folk and country music.
Oh my God.
Those were the two genres, which eventually like got rebranded as R&B and country and western.
Huh.
Yeah. And then like rock and hip hop like split like kind of matriculated like through various forks in the road and offshoots of those things. So just kind of a cool thing. Anyway, it kind of goes through like some of the various genres of country. And when I listened to a little Charlie Crockett, and it was like very much like, it felt like those kind of older, like kind of classic country genres,
right,
if you will. No bro country there.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
The look of disgust on your face. You got to tune in, youtube.com/washmedia. You got to see Phil's face right now. Also, you got to see my Astros jersey because they just made their 5th ALCS in a row. I mean, don't know if you care about that.
Just really rubbing it. If you would like 2 angles of me, Randy, you can do that. I hate new country music, a lot of it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a dude named Kane Brown.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah.
Woo, man. That's fucked.
How do you feel about Sam Hunt?
I don't even know what he sounds like.
Oh, come on. He's been called the Drake of country music.
See, no, you can't do that.
He's a gorgeous looking guy, He's just stunning.
Yeah. It's like, this is the next George Strait of hip hop.
Who would that be? Who's the George Strait of hip hop?
I don't know.
That's got to be like Talib Kweli or like The Roots or something.
The Roots, yeah.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Sam Hunt. You know this guy.
I'm sure I've heard him.
We got to put together a little quiz for Phil to see like how many bands he knows.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
You put all the I think you put all the bands that you know on the Club Cool playlist.
No,
those are
here's what I'll do. I will release. You know how Spotify will track. It's called on repeat, which you've been listening to a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I will release that. It will blow your mind will just melt.
Okay, because of the range. And yeah.
I will tell you this: Dixie Chicks make an appearance.
All right, I like the Dixie Chicks. Is ACL too pop for you? Is it too okay? Mm-hmm. You need like a cool indie festival to go to.
No, I need old ACL back. Give me Pearl Jam. Put Muse in there. Put fucking, somebody it's not just, like Tyler the Creator closes on Sunday. What?
Yeah, this was an off lineup for sure on the headliners.
Yeah,
I came up with the perfect ACL headliner. Let me get your temperature on this.
Okay.
Maroon 5.
No. I like them, but no.
They are the perfect ACL headliner. They are past the peak of their powers. They're past their height. They did the Super Bowl halftime show 3 or 4 years ago, and really, you do the Super Bowl halftime show like when you're on the downslope as well.
Yeah,
They're not putting like Olivia Rodrigo is not going to be the halftime Super Bowl performer this year, right? Even though she's by far and away like the hottest artist out. You know what I mean? And she's on the upslope, but my point is like whoever you think is at the pinnacle almost never does the halftime show. The closest they ever got was probably like Beyonce when she did it 5-6 years ago. Anyway, Maroon 5, but they have what 45 or 50 hits that you'd probably know. They've got like a huge repertoire to like pull from. Be a big sing along. It's good to dance to. It's fun pop music, and the lead singer is like a hot superstar.
Sure.
So like I'm just saying that would be. I know you want something a little bit heavier, a little bit grungier, maybe.
Not necessarily.
A little less pop, a little more rock.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but I'm just throwing it out there. If anybody from C3 or Live Nation is listening,
they're not.
Maroon 5 is.
Here is "Body Like a Back Road." I don't want to waste our 15 seconds on this guy.
You gotta speed it. You gotta fast forward a little bit. I think. If you played at 1.5x, I think we'll skirt all the copyright laws.
See, this is like. You imagine going to see this?
I would go see this. Yeah.
Okay.
Beyond the fact that his music is like enjoyable pop country, and I can't really hate on him for the music. Do you want to know like the other reason why I would go to a Sam Hunt concert?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it would just be an absolute like you've never seen so many attractive women in your entire life.
Fucking say that. Look at Randy.
Randy knows exactly what I'm talking about. That I like. You ever been to the Houston Rodeo?
Yeah.
Okay, imagine that, but like just then you put the hottest guy up on stage, and it's like a smaller show than the Astrodome. Oh my god.
No, that's
like
not it. That's not it.
You
Get
know.
Tim McGraw to do the show. Now you're talking. That's the same audience.
Tim McGraw?
Yeah.
What am I going to... no, I don't want Tim McGraw.
It's a sing-along.
How about Tim McGraw and Faith Hill together?
Fine.
How about Carrie...
Underwood?
Underwood. How about Carrie Underwood?
No.
If Carrie Underwood ever does a festival or a show that I want to go to, you think she plays the Sunday Night Football song?
That would be awesome.
Because that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I would like to see the Sunday Night Football song performed live by her. You know? So, speaking of ladies, there were Friday and Saturday was interesting because there was a huge dip. There was a drop off on Sunday of this. So many butts out.
Yeah, a lot of butts.
That was the trend this year. Butts out. If you had a butt, you needed it out.
Also, not just girls.
Yeah,
a lot of guys with their ass out.
That's what. Yeah,
you included.
You know, I've been waiting to debut those. We each had a pair of shorts that we were ready to pop off with at ACL.
Yeah.
But no, man, it was. All jokes aside, it was great to be back out there.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really nice to be back on the festival scene. And it was a lot of fun, a lot of good shows, despite a somewhat lackluster lineup.
Still had fun.
Miley was great. Miley was very, very good show.
Yeah.
She was a total rock star out there. She played about an hour and 15, and she had an hour and a half for her set. I wish she had taken that extra 15 minutes because I feel like she
come out later. She
no. She went off early, and she left some hits on the floor. I thought.
Huh.
Or some of the newer stuff, some of the newer hits.
I feel like her voice doesn't last that long. That's a tough voice to keep
possible. That is very possible.
2 weeks in a row out there.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, well, think about when she's on tour doing that like every other night. That's a good point. But you know, I don't know. Gaga does it does 2 hour shows, and she's belting it out. But fair point, because Miley does like a Janis Joplin cover. And that just has to like absolutely shred your vocal cords when you put that on. So, today's podcast brought to you by us, brought to you by you, our patrons on patreon.com/clubcool. go check it out. Go join us. That's the best way to directly support the podcast. We have a great group. The primary perk there for either tier that you join is access to our Discord, which I've talked about numerous times on this podcast, so I won't belabor the point, but a lot of good stuff on there. I learn about stuff in the Discord constantly, so I definitely think that you will as well. Again, access to that through either our $2 or our $5 tier. Plus, you'll get some great editorials. The most recent one that I put out, I mentioned last week, was all from mall brands, but it was comparing every item on the list to something that would have cost a lot more from a contemporary label that the likes of which we like to talk about on this podcast. So that's the most recent one. Plus, I do a wish list, which is a higher end editorial for our higher end tier, and it's just a great time in there.
Yeah,
I would recommend everybody that listens to this podcast join, especially after you've given us a 5-star review. So that's our request today. That's our sponsor, and we can keep it moving.
What do you think about this?
That's pretty good.
Isn't that good?
Yeah, and I'm not going to say what it is.
Okay.
If
spooky.
It's only for the people watching on youtube.com/watchmedia.
Bend your mind, won't it?
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that.
Randy? Pretty cool, huh?
The thing about it is that the spoon does not exist. Once you realize that the spoon does not exist, you'll be able to bend the spoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I've got a few news things I want to talk to you about, but first I've got a little show and tell. I'm pulling out here. I've mentioned this brand as a brand discovery. Let me do some plastic crinkling in the microphone. That is loud. Little ASMR for the people out there. This is a brand that I've talked about. I've been wanting to shop for a while. It's called Séfr.
Uh-huh.
Kind of fits in with Sunflower, which we also mentioned, and Arrow Legacy and Acne Studios. It's Swedish or Danish or something over there. Mm-hmm. So this is a pair of pants that I've just tried. Can you tell what these are?
It would appear to be leather.
Aha.
But it's not, is it?
They're not leather.
Uh-huh. Vegan.
This is vegan leather, and this seems to be this is booming. Mm-hmm. As we pull back on our meat and we switch from burgers to those that are impossible, and I feel like in general we're at, like, people that are conscious of the environment are trying to pull back on their usage of animals in general, whether that's farming for food or leather goods or whatever it may be. Anyway, I've noticed brands like Séfr. Another one is Nanushka. Lots of like very popular, contemporary, cool, kind of bleeding edge brands doing a bunch of crazy directional shit, doing products like this that are not real leather. And it's one of those things, kind of almost like the meat substitutes right now, which I think they're close to figuring out. I'm going to pass these over to you. You can see what you think.
Oh yeah.
What's your? I know you're already kind of like you're borderline vegetarian. Mm-hmm. Have you ever thought about like this alternative to leather type stuff?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if it looks and feels the same, why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't get the smell.
And there's obviously, like, I mean, they've been trying to do this forever. This is the best version that I've ever felt, I think. And I think they look pretty, they're a pretty good simulacrum for leather.
What?
But what?
What's a simulacrum?
Like a substitute.
What's he talking about? He gets these Swedish pants and he's rattling off these simulacrum.
Something that replaces reality with its representation. That's
Dude, you have one of those calendars just like word of the day? I bet you do.
I do not. I don't. I'm just,
These are cool.
big vocab guy.
I can't imagine I would look like a buffoon in these.
Well, so
Very big.
That's the one thing. I may need to find a one size down in these. They said they ran big, but they didn't have like my true in between size, so I kind of had to go up 2, and they fit, but they are maybe a little bit too baggy. Just if to talk about fit real quick here, but yeah, I also think that this alternative, this vegan leather, I think it works really well in like a piece that you are considering more of like a trend item as opposed to like a lifelong investment.
Yeah.
So it's like with your John Elliott Rider leather jacket. like I wouldn't buy something like that in this representation of leather.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
I think it's actually ideal for me in pants.
Mm-hmm.
One, leather pants, very difficult to wear in general. They're hot. They don't stretch. They can be uncomfortable. They get sticky. We've all seen the Friends episode where Ross tries to get them on and then off. So I like it in pants. I think it's a great place for it. And then with some of the other stuff that they're doing, which is like the big bloussons or like even like maybe the blazers, also maybe good spots to try it out. But like if you're going for, I need a leather jacket, whether you want a trucker or a rider or a bomber or whatever it is, like that's one spot where I still think you kind of want the real thing. Unless you're unless you're going full vegan lifestyle, right? In which case, what they're making right now, not bad.
No, not at all.
I think what they've really figured out here is like the graining, like the look of the hide.
Do you know what it is? What the material actually?
Yeah,
is?
so it's one thing that they're using, which I feel like is part of the new blend is I think there's some viscose, which 44% viscose, which is what you typically see on like an Aloha style shirt, a camp shirt that's like kind of doing the silky thing without using silk. That's where you usually see like viscose or rayon. 50% polyurethane, what's typically found in like the pleather. 6% poly. So, yeah.
Should have worn those out to ACL.
I really should have. There were, I really shouldn't have. That blows my mind more than anything at ACL is when people are wearing jeans out there. I do not get that.
I know.
It was in the 90s every single day this weekend.
It's crazy.
Some of the people with jeans
in like felt hats, in like a full ass blazer, pants, boots. The boots are what killed me.
Yeah.
Walking around all day in the boots would destroy you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's tough.
It is tough. All right, what else we got today? You see this Nike leak, this Nike sneakers leak? It looked like kind of a fake leak to me.
Intentional leak.
I'm doing air quotes here.
Yeah.
It's a leak, an intentional one. This was reported from Complex, I believe, is who got their hands on this deck that was apparently used in an internal meeting at Nike. Is basically Nike higher-ups acknowledging that there is an issue within the sneaker community regarding exclusivity and fairness on the sneakers app. And that they are now officially worried, and we've discussed this many times, that they are alienating their like core consumer base. That like the people that actually want the sneakers, to wear the sneakers or to collect the sneakers, are not getting any sneakers. And they certainly are realizing that the perception, at the very least, is that only people with like fake accounts and bots and all the other things are getting any access to the sneakers. They reported that only 20% of users think that the app is operating fairly.
Wow.
And they want that number to be at 80%. A couple other things that numbers that this was especially interesting because we finally got some numbers on this stuff. They would typically expect maybe 350,000 users on the app in like a given morning entering for one or more drops. Over the last 2 years, that number has ballooned to over 750,000.
Wow.
And the success rate in 2021 has been at 7%, or the fulfillment rate, like the amount of demand that they can fulfill, 7%. So, we can do some math there, right? But like that is putting, mostly they are releasing nominally like 50,000 pairs of shoes, sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more. The rate of success in 2019 and 2020 was at 13. So it's been nearly sliced in half over the past year, basically. So this is, why can we not even acquire one single pair of GR? Generally it's supposed to be lots of dunks because they're not making any compared to the demand, which is, sounds very obvious when we say it out loud, but like to actually get stats behind it is pretty interesting. And one of the things that they are like kind of holding up is like an example of what they want to do pushing forward is what they did with the off-white dunks, the 50. where you didn't enter a draw for those, right? You were given exclusive access. You had a push notification from the app. Hey, you have the opportunity to buy these.
Mm-hmm.
Based on the numbers that they talk about, and I think that this is one that they actually give you, they were able to deliver 500,000 pairs of those.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
No wonder everybody hit on it.
So know what? Yeah. But the way that they like one of the things that they're going for here is that they want to reshape and reframe this this idea of exclusivity and therefore and through that like fairness within the app. So it's kind of a genius thing to unload 500,000 units of something, but 50 different versions.
Yeah.
So it's like each singular version is still very limited, still very exclusive because of the specific colorway. And that's why if you go on the resale market, that specific shoe still is probably reselling for double or maybe triple, depending on the colorway. But 500,000 people got them. So that is a pretty smart, pretty clever, pretty forward way to do something. So it will be interesting to see what else they have in store to kind of to maybe finally start combating some of this. I mean, and the thing is, like, if you've got 750,000 people entering a draw, you can up the number of shoes by a lot from 50,000 and still have them be very, very exclusive. Like you can 5x that number, and you're still delivering product to a third of the people entering.
Right.
Like, so this idea that they can't make more shoes because then they'd lose exclusivity is I think just false. Now, you start releasing that number of shoes, the people entering every single drop probably starts to come down. But like, there is a happy medium there. Don't think you want 750,000 people entering every single drop, because that is what is adding to this like idea that nobody ever hits on anything. Anyway, it was noteworthy because I think last time we touched on this subject, we were kind of like, well, Nike probably doesn't care. They're selling out of shoes and the resale market is bonkers, and like this is all great for them. Mm-hmm. So what, but it sounds like they are at least acknowledging that they want the actual consumers, the ones that don't have bots, the ones that are not quote unquote resellers, to like start having more access, to start feeling like this is more fair. And so I don't know, over the next 12 to 18 months, I maybe we'll see some more cool stuff come out of the sneakers app. The hard part, the interesting part for them will be with all the supply chain stuff that we're going through.
Yeah, dude.
Like, is Nike vertical enough to where they won't be affected by it?
They're big enough to where they could do the chartering of the
They
ship.
could charter their own ship, their own jets. Yeah, absolutely.
With a big swoosh on the side.
Of course, I don't know how many jets you need for 500,000 pairs of shoes.
They could figure it out.
But yeah, and like you got to think Nike owns factories, right? So they can keep some type of, I don't think Nike is fighting for production space like smaller brands are. But it's still interesting because I mean I'm sure there's something that's affecting them. Mm-hmm. I don't think you can avoid, like right now, there's basically an electricity shortage in China. So the fabric mills and the production facilities are essentially having to take turns. And so you're only getting like operation like maybe 3 days a week right now.
Oh God.
Yeah. Because they're rationing electricity.
Are y'all going to road trip down to the port and pick up the Howler stuff?
Swim out to the tanker ships? Yeah, like pirates? Yeah, we might. It'd be a good content video.
That would be great. Yeah, take the fishing boat out. That would be great content.
Yeah.
Fishing boat, one of those fast boats with like 3 motors on the back. Hauling ass out to the...
Oh, yeah. Three big 300s.
Yeah, big.
Oh, yeah.
Full production.
Hauling ass.
Yeah.
Tossing off cardboard boxes.
Yes. Well... Yeah. That would be like a step in the wrong direction for the environment. Well, the message you're putting out there.
What? That we're not tossing them into the ocean.
Oh, you're tossing them onto
the boat that we brought out there. That's the product that I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because see, the drug dealers, they throw it into the ocean.
Oh, right. And then they like floats. They have a little beacon in it. Somebody goes out and collects it.
You seem to know a lot more about the cocaine distribution than I do, Barrett.
Yeah, I'm sure you've watched a cocaine documentary.
Yeah.
You're a big doc guy. Yeah.
Cocaine cowboys.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we got Nike. A couple other things I want to hit on here today. What else did I have for you? Oh, you wanted to talk about there's a little sneaker brand. We may have mentioned them before. Axel Arigato.
Mm-hmm.
This was started by a model. That's a brand started by a model. He used to be like in like the hashtag menswear era. He was like the J. Crew model. He was one of like 3 that they always used.
Mm-hmm.
That's who started Axel Arigato. I can't remember his name right now. But yeah, he's doing some cool sneaker stuff, and
I liked them, but I'm just worried that I'm getting duped because they're all very similar to like Asics. You know, Asics did those canvas type looking runners.
Yep.
He has a couple of those that are very, very similar. Even like the markings.
Yeah, there is some truth to the fact that a lot of what he is doing is essentially less expensive versions of some of the more expensive stuff out there.
Yeah.
But, that's like what you heard of this brand Collegium? They're doing a very similar thing. Like Collegium makes like a very similar looking retro basketball shoe that looks a lot like the one from Rude.
Yeah.
Their Recess. People love them.
Yeah.
They're, a third of the price or half the price or whatever. So I think that these sneaker silhouettes, man, like there's a glaring lack of originality as is.
Mm-hmm.
Like every high top basketball shoe kind of looks like a Jordan 1 at this point, and every runner sort of looks like an Asics or a Balenciaga thing, and like so I think that at least with brands like Collegium, Axel Arigato, they're still using premium materials. There's still a thought process within the design. They're still trying to add something unique or a personal touch. This looks a lot like the Off-White.
It looks like a Golden Goose almost, that runner that they do.
Yeah. It's kind of hybrid. And I think I mentioned or suggested Axel Arigato to you at some point last year when you were kind of looking for like, yeah, that looks a lot like the Asics. Yeah.
But it's great.
Mm-hmm.
It's very cool. I like both of them.
No, it's very, very good. Anyway, yeah, this is a potential alternative to like a Common Project or a Golden Goose as well.
Right.
It's
See,
like,
that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that you can wear to a meeting that you don't look like a fool.
Yeah, I didn't see those on here, but they definitely have
I think it's called like a domino or an ace or something.
There is definitely something. Oh, right here. It's the 90, the something 90, right? The clean 90.
Maybe.
This is definitely one of them. That's
yeah, that's nice.
That's in that world.
There's another version that almost looks kind of bowling shoe-esque that I really like.
But yeah, as we continue our debate about whether Golden Goose deserves to exist or not, the ongoing coverage, it's nice to have options out there. Yeah. That's back to ACL. I thought I was going to see a lot more. Yeah. I guess all of the girls left the geese at home.
Either that, or those girls were up in the VIP section.
Maybe so.
Flexing.
That's definitely possible. Yeah. What there were a lot of, and what I continue to see, the all white Air Force Ones continue to be wildly popular.
Yeah. And
for some reason, like the more cooked they are, like the grosser and more beat up they are, the better.
Yeah.
And it's I guess I might be contradicting myself here because I like the way the Golden Goose looks, don't like the way a cooked Air Force One looks. Yeah. But like, I don't know that I guess sometimes what I see with the Air Force One is that they are so beat.
Yeah.
And that's not an intention. Like,
yeah, it's kind of gross.
It's through actual wear.
What the fuck are you doing with those shoes?
It's like, I don't know. Maybe wipe those down for me, just like one time.
Yeah.
Let's see. A couple other pieces of news here. Entireworld.
Ah, bummer.
R.I.P. I
End of the world.
Entireworld at the end of the world. Yeah, this is the guy that did Band of Outsiders.
Mm-hmm.
So that was his first brand that went belly up. Scott Sternberg is the creator's name. Entireworld was his like return to the fashion universe. Came out a few years ago, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago now.
It's cool stuff, man.
Basics,
Yeah.
very minimal. He was doing boxy tees, Oxfords, some polos, great boxers. They're running a site-wide like liquidation sale right now. If you don't have any of their boxers, and like I'm typically like a trunks and briefs guy,
Yeah.
but I like to have some boxers around as well. Love their boxers.
good to know.
Very trim fit, like super comfortable. Only downside is that like they recommend hang drying them. Now, your miles may vary. Go ahead, toss them into the dryer if you want to live on the edge. I have hung dry them, but you know, that's kind of I know that's a step too far for mini. So
It is.
for $12 a pop though, right now, I think they are like, take your chances, man. Throw them in the dryer, see what happens.
I'm in after we wrap up here.
But yeah, he posted this. If you got their emails or were on their Instagram, he posted this kind of lengthy goodbye to the company, and was basically like, this is a full-on operation. There are so many moving parts. It requires a lot of money, and we needed help. We needed investment. We were very close to an acquisition deal, which fell through at the last second, and now we are like ass out. Like now we have to liquidate everything and close up shop. And it just, man, like I was thinking about a lot of things, but this is such a difficult business to be in.
Yeah.
Any business where you need inventory like this.
Right.
Not only inventory, but different sizes in the same piece. That's always tough. You're always going to run into issues with projection because you don't have to just, you're not saying I'm going to sell 1,000 iPods. You got to sell, you're saying I'm going to sell 200 small iPods, 300 medium iPods,
right.
like that whole thing, which is a mess. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know. It's surprising to see this. It's surprising and unsurprising to see Entireworld fail here. It was direct to consumer, so they weren't like losing margin on wholesale, but maybe their margins weren't that good to begin with, and they were probably operating out of New York, which is super expensive. I don't know. I'd be curious to get the curtain pulled back and hear a little bit more about this story. It sucks that this is the second time this has happened to Scott Sternberg, who creatively and like as a visionary seems to have wonderful ideas that just can't seem to last. And then the other thing I thought about, man, is like you got guys out there like Luigi Villaseñor, who founded Rude, who is like rocking Audemars Piguets and Richard Mille watches and driving around in Rolls-Royce SUVs and like buying like $40,000 desks.
Right.
Like, and I am so struck at like how that guy seems to be so wildly successful. Like, is what I'm learning here that you should be charging $400 for a t-shirt instead of $50? Is that the way?
It might be the way.
Because they are notorious for awful customer service. They barely have any product. Their website is archaic and not that great.
Low overhead, baby.
They are in wholesale. So they are like, you know, they must have a shit ton of margin built in there. I'm just confused at how that is so successful with seemingly like, you know, you got it, that there is plenty of overhead there, whether it's marketing or the cost of the product or whatever. An Entireworld can't be successful.
Yeah, because it seems like Entireworld would appeal to a broader audience.
Yes, and sell a lot more product and have a lot more demand and like just be able to
direct to consumer.
Right. And
not even fucking with wholesale.
And they can't even stay in business. Meanwhile, Luigi is like spending, you know, must have like a burn rate of $5 million a year. Like, you
just got to think that he's backed by some.
You think they already got investment, basically?
I would think so. I don't know. I would assume that. Yeah, they've probably got some investment there. Yeah.
So, R.I.P. to Entireworld. We hardly knew ye, but Go give them a little bit of last minute liquidation business, I guess.
Yeah, that sucks to see that go. But hey, see what he has in the
I'm sure
hopper
he's
there.
got something. I'm sure he's got something cooked up next.
Yeah.
You know, these guys like Scott, like they fall down, they get back up. Speaking of, you see Tyler Haney, new business launching in December. We don't know what it's going to be.
Just a business.
Yeah, baby number 2, and new business both coming in December, according to her social media.
Nice.
So very very interested to see what it
Me
is
too.
from her.
I'm very interested.
I get the idea it's not going to be clothing.
Really? Yeah.
I'm thinking wellness, lifestyle,
Taking a little Jessica
something or
Alba
other.
pivot.
Yeah, Jessica Alba or Goop
Mm-hmm.
or something more along those lines. Yeah. I feel like maybe a clothing line for her again someday, but I feel like this next thing, like I think she's out that game. I think she's probably still has a little bit of a bad taste in her mouth from it.
Yeah.
So,
Rightfully so.
And rightfully so. I mean, as we just discussed, this shit is not easy.
Yeah, you got buried on a fast boat going to get.
We're driving out to or boating out to tanker ships and hauling our own stuff off of airplanes. Last thing that I wanted to mention today, Phil, before we get up out of here, LL Bean, the latest to get on the kind of the wear and worn previously loved pre-owned train. They did a little Instagram sale where they had up for grabs some old, pre-loved, pre-owned kind of vintage classic LL Bean pieces.
Throw them up.
And I'll pull them up. Why not?
Yeah. I keep getting targeted by them and their collaboration with Todd Snyder.
Yeah. I didn't like it as much this year.
Yeah. I'm just so scared of that now after the pants debacle. I feel like everything's going to be so big.
So, yeah, pre-loved collection sale. Now, Phil, I need you to note here, because this is going to be a point of discussion. Please note the number of followers that LL Bean has.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
392,000.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And people like this type of stuff. You know, there are vintage stores that do these little Instagram sales. They'll sell through a dozen products very quickly. They don't have 392,000 followers. People and LL Bean, the outdoor thing, the fleece thing, this is ripe for them to move through some great looking vintage, previously loved product. 392,000 people. Surely they can move some stuff.
I'm laughing because I figure that's a low number for this.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, they should be in the millions. It's LL Bean.
Yeah, but they're not Instagram savvy.
They should be.
They're like, look at this. This is not good. It's not.
Oh, look at that dachshund in the back. That's good.
All right, here. Oh yeah, that's good.
I'm into that. What is that, in a jacket?
Promote that intern who put that one on there. Yeah. No, he's just I think it's a tote. He's riding in a tote.
See, that's what we want.
But no, look, this is a fine Instagram, but it's certainly not like curated and
not like the Club Cool account.
That's performance art, Phil. You just you just wouldn't get it.
Right. Yeah. Less is more.
All right. So they're all sold through their stuff, and I just want you to count how many products they had for their 392,000 followers.
I can see the tab.
Here you go. Here's a nice little rules. Here's how you do it. Okay.
1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that's it. It's closed.
Holy shit. That's it?
So, we'll just rewind to the Nike sneakers numbers real quick.
Yeah.
They have, nominally 50,000 products for 750,000 entries. Almost nobody wins. It's very hard to acquire the product.
You got 8 products.
Everybody gets very mad. Here you had 8 products for 392,000 Instagram followers.
Oh, that's good.
So this was they took
like
exclusivity to the next level with this thing.
Do you know where they're out of?
LL Bean, Maine, I think.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, the Bean boots are historically made in Maine, I believe, and so I'm feeling like Maine. I'm going with Maine. I'm like 95%. So
let me look that up.
LL Bean, I think on the next one, maybe like, I don't know, double the product. You could put 16 things up for sale. I think that you'll be successful with 16 products. So yeah. But I think they're going to run this back. I learned about this LL Bean thing through the Discord, and it sounds like they might do another one with knitwear or something. Maybe they'll have a third one with fleece. Point being, this post had about the pre-loved sale, 15,000 likes, 320 comments. This is engagement. This is something that your fans are biting on.
And you're putting out
8 products. That for a brand that I'm sure is like coming to terms, like they're doing the collaboration with Todd Snyder, they're getting in on this LL Bean or on this pre-loved thing. Like you can tell that they're making some strides to like stay relevant, stay modern. I think you need more than 8 units there, bud. So
you were right. Freeport, Maine.
Nailed it. Yeah, man. But that's it. That's all I got.
Okay.
That's all I got for us today. You ready to get on up out of here?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good show. Really good show. Thank you to producer Randy. Thanks, Phil. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Go check us out. Patreon.com/clubcool. Everybody, enjoy your week. Enjoy your weekend. And we'll see you soon.
Peace. Peace and love.